Hello, how is it going? I am still trying to figure this whole thing out. This program does not like to play nicely with OBS. So we're doing our best here. I also have music playing, which you can't hear for some reason. Uh, well, heck. You know, this was working earlier. Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. There we go. Now you guys can hear that. While we are exploring today, we will be listening to Mothership Loudspeakers, the Unreal Tournament replicate playlist. So that's fun. That's not what I cooperate. Yeah, for whatever reason, OBS, there we go. I don't really want to focus on the program here. There we go. I'm still learning. Alright, cool. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and just get started. Let me see. Can I pull up chat? Is that loud? There we go. I'm still doing this with a single monitor in my phone, so it's a little... just a little janky. 8 minutes ago. Let's try this one more time. Since I'm just vibing here by myself. Let's give it a little bit of time. There we go. Gosh, I love this soundtrack. The original was great, but the remake is... remake? Remix? Remaster? I don't even know what to call it. It's something else. Anyhow, welcome to Map 7. As some of you may know, if you've been watching my... that's tough a little bit. As some of you may know, if you've been watching my Stalker streams and watching my playthroughs of Ashes 2063, I enjoy making Doom maps. I've done a couple mapping streams previously and done a few videos talking about my process, I suppose. And so this is one of those. I committed myself to doing a 32 map mega wad, which pretty much every single person tells you never do that ever. So I'm doing it. I decided my first project was just going to be this thing that was massive and I'm way over my head in. So I'm dragging you all along with me. So this is Map 7, more formally known as Dead Simple. Very, very fun to remake. You'll see versions of Dead Simple done over and over again in different people's maps. Everybody likes their map packs, excuse me, and everybody likes to take their own spin on it, which I also have done. So let me see. No, we'll give you a tour first. So, player will start. Oh, where's my player start? I'm by no means a professional, and you can please ask questions. I'd love to talk about my process and what I know about Doom Builder, but there are people out there who are light years ahead of me. But I do enjoy talking about it. It is something I really enjoy working on. And that texture's not lined up. Neither's that one. Oh, I had all of these set. There we go, that's better. So, let's see. I am trying to think about what I was going to talk about a second ago. Oh, OBS really does not like me playing Doom, so we're going to test that real quick. So if I try to run this map, see, I'm watching my preview down here, what happens? Okay, cool. I don't really like it showing my whole desk. really like it if it would just show, like, just a single program. Like, I can do game capture, right? But then capture I don't know. I don't know what any of these things really mean. So like if I do this, right? I say, oh, that's gonna come up ahead of this, right? It'll come ahead of this. Right? It just straight up doesn't show up. So like if I pick this, oh, we're here, right? You guys can't see anything, so it has to be this one. I'm not a fan of that, but whatever. Turn off the audio here since we're listening to other tunes. So you're here. I do my best to make these vanilla compatible. So first off, we can't get the key, but we've got the rocket launcher, chain gun, super shotgun, and a lot of ammo. So our goal is to get back onto the train. I think I even had a little exit sign on there at some point, but it is not there right now. I don't know what I did with that, but grab us some equipment here. I'm not the best at balancing. I actually have a really hard time balancing levels and maps and things. So my strategy is just, ooh, those are really messed up too. I selected something and changed the height of the floor when I wasn't supposed to, and it screwed up some of the texturing, but it's fine. If I can beat a level, then I call it good. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best or most fun way to go through it, and it might need some external playtesting. So if you are interested, let me know. So I've got, oh, I'm just getting wrecked here. Like I said, my own take on the arena from Dead Simple, right? I already sort of spoiled the big reveal, and if you grab that secret I showed you with the map, you can see there's more going on here than just this room. I actually really quite like the look of the original Dead Simple map. Just something about the layout and the atmosphere and the vibes and things, just, I don't know, there's just something about a lot of the more abstract environments in Doom that I really appreciate. But like the, well, I'm sure I can show you guys some later, but a lot of the outdoors areas where they're trying to make it outside, but they don't really have the technology for that. The engine wasn't built to do that. It's always really fun to look at and figure out how they work around that. Alright. So if you know Dead Simple, you know killing a Mancubi opened the side doors and let a bunch of things in. We've got a bunch of Hell Knights right now, and 2 Barons. And our Arachnotrons, which are needed to complete the map over there. And I also threw in a Cyber Demon. I think it's probably overkill, and I made sure to give enough ammo so that you can kill him. You have, goodness, over 100 rockets here. I have the sound off, I can't tell where other is. And also, if you can get him to infight, which is sort of the idea, then they'll whittle down quite a bit of his health too. So that helps some. But I don't know. I just wanted to be a little more challenging than the original Dead Simple, which isn't an easy map necessarily. It's straightforward. It's dead simple. It's kind of a gag. Haha. Oh, ow! And I died. See, Cyber Demon just adds a whole other level of difficulty that probably isn't needed, but I think it's a fun touch. Okay, so we'll. So, I don't have them in the starting room right away because I didn't want you to, that's a misaligned too, I gotta fix that. I didn't want you to be able to just hide behind the doors and just snipe them, you know? So I have it set up so they won't spawn in until you fire. As soon as you make noise, they're here. And players are going to hopefully figure that out when there's nothing happening, and people will often get frustrated and shoot something, and then all of a sudden, bam. Jump scare. Oh, we had somebody, and they left. That's okay. Let me see here. Ooh, ooh, whoa. Whoa, I almost nuked myself with that rocket. Did you guys see that? I'm not the most elegant Doom player in the world, but I do enjoy me some good Doom and brutal Doom from time to time. I am doing my best to make these GZ Doom compatible. Like in GZ Doom, you can jump, right? So I try to keep that in mind when I'm developing blockades or barriers or things that are supposed to stop you, making them too tall to jump, or just putting an invisible wall there. Just, you know, forget you don't get to just jump out of my level. But they're not designed for jumping, so you don't like have to jump to get anywhere. Everything can be done just by, you know, running around like normal. I'm not super good at Doom parkour, so it's hard for me to design or create parkour elements because I don't fundamentally understand how it works, really. So these columns will drop, similar to, again, Vanilla Doom 2 with the pillars there, but a little bit different. I didn't want to have switches out here on this wall. So the Arachnotrons kind of get stuck back here, which is not great. They can get out. I probably need to make that a little bit wider so they can walk out of it. Oh dear. But they will walk out. So just gonna let the infighting continue. Ooh, oh dear. See? I made a mistake there with that. And now we're stuck. Alright, go and kill me. So what happened there was, if the goodness, I almost said masterminds. They're not masterminds. If the Arachnotrons get killed all at the same time, you can have that happen where this lifts too many times. It's supposed to increment. Excuse me. Whoa, that was crazy fast. I don't know how I did that. Light speed, speed running, Doom tech. Oh, I'm doing it again. I have no idea how I'm doing that. I mean, I'm holding run. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's just a certain angle where if you're running up against the wall, you just go really fast. That's funny. Interesting. I may have to exploit that sometime if I can figure that out. But anyhow, last time I tested this map, it worked fine. So the platform raising too high is new to me. Like, if you want to, you can cheese it. You can get up here, right? So I had to think of a way around that. Not the most elegant solution, but nothing happens. Ooh, ow! When you're up there, you gotta find a separate switch for that. So I don't know how I'm doing that with the quick movements or whatnot, but it's okay. Ow! Like I said, I am not the classic Doom master. I actually beat Doom 2 for the first time with just the keyboard. Doom and Doom 2. I had an old Toshiba laptop that was... It wasn't a gift, but it was my laptop to use for the time. I don't know what happened to it. I think it died. I like having the arena reconfigure itself a bit here. Just thought that was a neat touch. Again, it's not very fancy or sophisticated, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be fun, and I'm still working on the fun part. Like I said, balancing is tricky. But old Toshiba laptop, and this was many years ago. So I had a copy of Doom and Doom 2 and DOSBox, and I played both of those suckers on DOSBox, keyboard only. I didn't have a mouse. I had a trackpad. The trackpad was awful and made me want to not touch computers anymore. So obviously we see where that went. Pretty hurt. I tried to scatter around a lot of little stim packs. I was using just health bonuses. Those only give you one hit point though per bonus, which is good, but sometimes it's not enough. And you can pick them up at any time. So if you're not hurt, you can slurp them up, which is fine. But trying to use them as a source to replenish health is not great, because usually by the time you need them, you've already grabbed them, they're gone. So Stimpaks were a little bit of a better option. And pretty much every enemy, excuse me, in this area... Oh, there we go. Okay, that was what was needed. So I think that should be all. One Arachnotron. Let's check corpse count here. There's 2. 1, 2. Should be all 4. 3. Oh, Cyber Demon's gone. Yes! Okay. Makes this easy. Okay, I actually don't know where the last one... Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that worked as it should. Now we can step up. All of those guys are dead. So that whole fight is just meant to keep you from opening this door too soon. And I give you a little bit of a reward with that bonus there. And that button lowers the shield. So I had to keep you from getting up here too soon. Oh, whoa. You're not supposed to be there. Grab some more ammo. And you hit use on this statue, which I thought was pretty fun. I'm hoping most people will know to do that. Again, if you've played Doom 2, you know how Dead Simple works. You'll go, oh, okay. I gotta go hit use on the thing. But that's not it. And if you didn't grab the secret with the map in it, you would have no idea. So, I have it open to this big area, which is still obviously a work in progress. I'm thinking of doing some more decorating with rocks or pools or... I don't know. The idea was it's like a... Because you're taking a train. I've got several levels that are interconnected with this tram. I think it's 3 or 4. Well, you can't see the tram now, it's behind the wall. And so the idea is you're getting off at each stop. Something's in your way. You've got to work your way forward there. Like, that's not finished. So like, if you want to jump, you can jump. But that's not going to really get you anything, theoretically. Okay, so we want to open this door, but we can't. Use the red key. Let's come over... Here. Can't go there. Need a red key. How about this door? Need a yellow key. Missed the texture there. Oh, there's our blue key. What's up here? Ooh, BFG. We can't get that right now because it's a trap. And even if we run fast enough to grab it, there's no way we'll get back. So we'll have to figure that out later. It's funny, I did not pick up the shotgun from the shotgun guy. We'd want to get into the crate storage area at some point. We want to get into that building there. We gotta start here in this parking lot. Oh no, cacodemons! Oh no, a wall of flesh! My worst fear. We gotta kill these suckers. One thing that I've been having a lot of trouble balancing is enemies with the super shotgun, which has been kind of a bane of most mappers' existence since the super shotgun was introduced with Doom 2, because it's a lot more powerful than your other weapons. You can see these little cars that I made that are really busted. I don't know what I did, but like this is what it's supposed to look like. You got little headlights here. Yeah, some of the texturing just gets really warped from time to time when I'm editing stuff. So I have to, once I'm done, I gotta save it and then just never touch the map again. Especially going from computer to computer. Grab the key. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. That's another thing that doesn't work great all the time, but sometimes that breaks. There we go. Still a work in progress. I'm hoping that somebody will notice that. And I did not set the sound trigger for that properly. When you... Oh, ow. When you... There's that shotgun I was looking for. When you get the red key, it's supposed to unleash all these guys on you. And it did not, because I didn't set it up properly. Oh, there's another guy. Yeah, it's funny. So the way that I have the spawn rooms set up, you know, when you aggro them, they start moving and they hit a warp trigger, and that sends them over. Sometimes some other monster grabs the spawn trigger from another, and then that monster can't get where they want to go. Oh, there's another one. So you kind of gotta wait. If you've been paying attention. Oh, jeez. Oh, great. Okay, we'll stop there for now. Well, yeah, we'll stop there for now. So you see here the Mancubi. I have these little doors here. That's not textured, it doesn't matter. I promise you, they don't mind. So as soon as you fire your gun, excuse me, as soon as you cross this threshold, these doors open, and they're just waiting. They're hit their bounding box. There's your warp trigger right there. So as soon as you fire, they aggro. They've got nowhere to go but forward. They step and bam, they're in. There's a little sound tunnels. Okay, let's see here. I want to fix this little map. How did I have it? Was it? It was just two like that. There we go. There we go. I like this little map station thing that I figured out. That I made. I thought it was the coolest thing ever when I designed it. So I've made sure to make 2 orientations of it, so I can stick it in almost any map. So if you see this, you know, oh, it's a map station. There are a couple maps where I didn't do that, but... Oh, yeah, okay, so there's the exit sign. I think I had it set at one point to, like, pop up, but whatever. Let's fix these doors here. I don't have one of those fancy programs that allows you to, oh, is it pegged? Oh, there we go. I don't have one of those fancy programs that shows you which key presses I'm making, so my apologies, but I figured accidentally giving myself a keylogger was not a good risk. Okay. There we go, you can see a lot of the entities and stuff going on here. So this guy, what's happening here is I have multiple triggers that are set up that can activate this column that drops down here. Oops, not that one. So they're supposed to lower together and then sink into the floor like that. But if you... sometimes hitting it causes it to get messed up. Let's fix this. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Just trying to simulate, you know, the undercarriage of the car, and there's a little bit of detail, and you can see underneath it. Yeah, it's doom cute, whatever, but I enjoy it. There's a lot of little touches that I try to put in these. I spend a lot of time with the texture work and things, trying to get it to look nice. Doesn't have to be perfect, I recognize that, but I do spend quite a bit of time trying to get it right. We'll do a little bit of cheating here and bring you back to the car park, the cap hack. So I didn't save, and that was kind of silly of me, but... Okay, it's all fixed. What other texture glitches that we run into? I have this door offset like that on purpose, because I think I'm funny. I don't know. There's some other texture. I was like, oh, I need to look at that. Turn everybody off. Well, I don't remember what it was, so we're just going to keep on rolling. Hello again. Somebody keeps popping in and disappearing and running away. Let's see, can I... Sometimes, YouTube chat just doesn't work. So... And I don't know how to view chat from OBS, so I have it on my phone. And sometimes my phone just doesn't show chat, so I apologize for that. I don't have the space for another monitor. I have multiple monitors, but not all hooked up at once. Okay, so we're going to come back here, and we'll give ourselves weapons we should have, just real quick, for testing purposes. Super shotgun. shotgun, shotgun. Yeah, with a chain gun at this point, right? There we go. I try to make all of my maps be pistol startable. That way, you know, you're never... I did not give us any more ammo. Oh well. You know, some people like to pistol start, some people don't. I'm trying to balance them for pistol start, but you know, I haven't done a full playthrough in a while. So theoretically, those are supposed to go together, and they're not right now. They should have the same sector tag. I may have accidentally broken it up, and that would be why it's not working. Okay. So you'll notice I'm getting my rear handed to me, but the keen-eyed, oh, you may have noticed. Actually, we can't. So I'll let you in on a secret. Secrets. But this is really for a secret enemy. Okay, I think that's everything good here. So, oh no, we cannot get out this door. We have to go another way. Only other way out? This way. And bam! Look at that! Environmental destruction. Eat your heart out, Duke Nukem. I'm kidding. But so now we have an adversary in there that we can't quite deal with. So we're just gonna leave. Let's really quick. A little bit, I know. Let's drop the walls. Oops, not like that. Oh. Oh dear. Okay, well. Yeah. Now, the only thing with that is if you come back here on your own, you can blow the tower and summon the Cyber Demon again. I don't really have much control over that, but I had a lot of fun making this destroyable silo thing and having the little transformer box blow up. And I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. It's tanks with stuff attached, and that's all it needs to be. Alright, let's grab our stuff, our key here, and just get out of here. So what happens with the column there is it's supposed to lower to the lowest floor, right? Just all fine and dandy. And right now, the way I have it is the lowest floor is changing because both of them are scrolling. So I do need to figure out a better way to do that. I think if I maybe make some dummy sectors that are next to the floor of the same depth, that'll handle it. But so there's a revenant in here that's angry. He's working in the kitchen. And, you know, food service, I get it. We only have the yellow key. So we should go open this. Oh, hey, look. Oh, no. Just a little in closet here. I do need to make them deaf so that they're not all clustered in one spot. But that is a problem for me in a couple minutes, but not me right now. I just like the hedge full of imps. I just think that's funny. Again, if you jump, then, you know, whatever, but... Alright. Red key room. So, tricky. Oop, that's not textured. Alright, let's deal with these yahoos before we push any buttons. Fellow, or not fellow, I'm not a mechanic. If I have any mechanics in the audience, I apologize in advance for how just out of spec this shop is. The lighting is completely insufficient, and there's no tools. I do have car lifts, though, and a car up on a lift. The texture work does not match the ones that are out in the yard. I do need to fix that, but I am super proud of this. nice little bit of 3D fakery I've got going here. Same thing with this. Not that hard to figure out, but I think it looks great. They're like turbines, I guess. I'm not really sure what these are supposed to be, but I just thought they looked cool. They're machines of some kind, or you know, maybe they're in the shop for work. Maybe they do move. It's your imagination. I also tried to do some lighting effects here that are, you know, where the light sort of gradually fades and gets brighter and darker. You can't really see it, and that's mostly due to the lighting effects. Let's see, full options menu, display. Where's the lighting? Let's turn multi-sampling way the heck high. Oh, dynamic, done. Shadow maps, because why not? I'm looking for the lighting options, and I know I'm missing them, but I don't know. Post processing, portals, FXAA, dither, tone mapping. Let's just go to option search. Light. And options on it. Classic software, vanilla. Software. Yeah, I think vanilla's the right one. Yes, I don't know. So, welcome in, folks. I'm done with the menu configuration. So we have opened our door here, and that is not textured. Oh, that's bad. Gotta go into the little storage area here. We need health and armor, and through the magic of being the one who designed the map, I know where those things are. We only have rockets right now, which is a problem. Now I can use my fists. Oh no. Oh, that's ammo. Oh, that's fine. 10 times the punch power, let's go. People keep up and out and leaving. That's totally fine. If you are... Oh! See... That Cyber Demon's going to be a pain in your rear if you don't take care of him. Now, thankfully, he is helping a little bit. The Cacodemon's escaped from somewhere. Gotta go inside this box to get the yellow key. And, oh no! Oh crap. Oh dear. I didn't think this through. I'm out of ammo. So, as you can see, things need work. But we have the yellow key now, so that's cool. I'm gonna freaking die. Hold on. Okay. This is madness. We're just gonna flip out of this wall here. Did you like the container that you can go in and out of? I thought that was pretty cool. Again, more fake 3D hackery nonsense. Alright, now that we have the yellow key, we can go over here. Something with these street lights. Nope, that's not the one. They're there, and they're 3D-ish. You can actually see... You can't see the building behind them. You're supposed to be able to do that. I should fix that. I did have that working at one point, but whatever. Okay, yellow key. Already killed the Revenant in here. Got the kitchen and the fridge, and... I'm supposed to be able to close that door yet. I am a huge fan of John Romero's Sigil series, and I can't hope to do anything as good as his work yet. But I do like the idea of the shootable eyes, and you'll notice something lifted. So if we we can't get out yet. We don't get to know what that is. I'm still out of ammo for everything. Yeah, well, come over here. There we go. Got our television set here. I don't quite like the texturing on the sides and top yet. I need to rework that a little bit, but just like the idea of the news broadcast. You got your little kitchenette here for whatever this building is supposed to be. Got the gradual lighting there coming from the stairs and whatnot. I think it's really cool. People will probably blow past it and never see it, but I'm proud of it. And the little floating ceiling lights, I thought that was a neat touch. Now we can go in here, walk through the servers, finally get our blue key. That's our ticket out of here. What about that BFG? Well, thankfully, we shot the eyeball. Oh, I was about to say, I think I'm still invincible, so I can just let him hit me. No, I am not. And there we have it. Woohoo! The secret is revealed. Now, we can't get back into here because I didn't open it to begin with. So we're just gonna boop. There we go. Have some BFG ammo. There they go. Alrighty, now we have the key. We can get out of here. Or not. It was working yesterday, I swear. It was working yesterday. Whoa, that was too far. Oh, ow. And we can get out of here. Woohoo! Tricks and traps. So that brings me to another one of my levels here, which is... Oh! This one. I don't recognize this place. You see nothing. You see nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. And we're back to the tram. So the tram has gotten larger. Don't think about it. I want to go inside this big door, but I can't. I want to go inside this little door, and I can't. Go inside this big door, and I cannot. Ooh, a restaurant. Can you tell I was watching Blade Runner? Probably not, because this looks nothing like the diner from Blade Runner, but it was an inspiration. Once again, I have the Revenant's working food service, and I just figured for an enemy that's just constantly screaming, it just made sense. There's another one here. They can fit through that doorway, which was not something that I was happy to learn, but whatever. Here, I give you a single magazine. Again, I really got to work on balancing. If you want... Ooh, the freezer! So I had a lot of fun trying to figure out what I was going to do here for this, so I figured the Wolfenstein 3D textures along with the nice, cool computer carpet blue was fun. And as you navigate it, you'll get some rewards. I need to give them a sink, too. Enjoy making sinks. Well, we still can't open any of these doors. We can go this way. I'm very proud of this little room. And a ladder. So this is actually in the Doom files as a ladder. And you only see it used, I think, once, and that's in one of the Doom 1 maps, as far as I'm aware. I use it all the time. You just make a ladder out of 1 pixel wide steps and... Isn't that cool? And again with the color gradient, the lighting gradient, excuse me. You can see a little bit outside here. Get a feeling for the map there. Here and see. There's a rocket launcher in there. Run back the little sewer tunnels here. And again, little lighting touches that I think are cool, but they changed the renderer with Doom for lighting because they had like 4 or 5, maybe more different rendering styles, and it was It was excessive, I agree, but they didn't do this little vignette jargoning thing. So things like this were a lot more easily readable. And again, if we go back to the option search, we search for lighting, light. So dynamic lights, yes. Sector light mode, classic, which is faster. Software, vanilla. So like classic is fine and dandy, and it's I prefer classic. This is how I remember Doom. You don't get those really dark blacks and that sort of thing, but some of the lighting gradients are a little more visible. Super minor nitpick and something that only I really do, that I've seen. I've seen Ashes do it a couple times. If you haven't played Ashes, play Ashes. I'm playing Ashes right now for some videos. I just haven't been able to get another video out in a bit. You can see the light shaft coming through there. A lot of mappers have the light gradients be very dramatic, and I think that's probably what I need to do. I just need to swallow my my artistic pride and just do it. But I really like the subtle, just a hint of some light peeking through, and how. Kill these guys real quick. You can't look up, but if you oh no, more demons. If you could, there are even details. Oh, jeez, little ones on the ceiling. I like to trap you in tight spaces here. So if we give ourselves mouse look. So, like the ceiling accessible there, and we're in the middle of a giant drainage pit. There we go. Hello again, viewer. Whoever you are. Again, I'm sorry if you're typing and I can't see it. I can't see anything, but I appreciate you being here. And again, subtle lighting gradient there. And here as well. But anyway, the guys, the team behind Ashes is phenomenal, and I'm really inspired by a lot of their design. And they do some really fun little lighting effects. And this grate that's pulled off the wall, and I try to give it some three-dimensionality to it. Can't walk through it, for instance. I really wanted to have, what's it called? Oh, I really want to be able to like shoot the grate off or break it or something, but I couldn't get that to work in a way that was really convincing. I'm doing everything vanilla. I don't do any. I am not doing any. I keep wanting to say CLS, and I think that's the wrong word. But there's a very simple type of coding you can do, and I don't really do that. I don't know how. I've been trying to teach myself, but I've been doing all my maps vanilla. I'm going to keep it that way for now. But when you open this door, you see the light now. Kind of projects into the room. I thought that was fun. There's some source ports that will actually do that automatically, where they'll lighten and darken an area if you connect two rooms and open a door. I'm doing it manually. So there's the train station. Little seating room. By hitting that button, we can see those big doors are now open. If you remember, looking at the... Whoa! What on earth? That was scary. If you remember, looking at the map, there's a room back there.
Oh, secrets.
I have given the player a rocket launcher and some shotgun shells for finding this little space. And this button here opens another door, which we will get to go see. I had to remember. It's been a little bit since I've done this. I played this map or worked on it at all. Oh, jeez, and I forgot about this. That's what I get for doing that to myself. But I really, and I got a lot of dead people in here. They've been collecting them and pulling them into the vents. Feel like I do best at tight engagements and confined spaces. Now we can open the door. That was what our thing did. And there were some barrels in there. If we want some extra health, we can sneak in there and grab it. We can get over here. And again with the Cyber Demon. So I know that some people are kind of sick and tired of Cyber Demons. Valid. But they don't work, in my opinion, super great as just strictly boss enemies. Because they're not that difficult. And if you play the last level and you have the BFG, you can clear this room pretty easy. So I didn't want to... Whoa. I didn't want to go too easy on you, but I'll let you guys in on yet another little secret here. He's also not supposed to be able to get up there. I don't know how that soldier got there. If I don't blow up, I'll let you guys in on another secret here. Just play chicken here with the rocket launcher. I'm sure nothing bad will happen about that. There we go. So I'll let you on a little secret here. If you come right here and you hit use, there's another one. That was a powerful enough weapon. I didn't really want to signpost it, you know. And these little planters and the seats, if you keep up momentum, you can kind of glide across the top of them, and they're not really an obstacle. If you stop, obviously you're kind of stuck. Oh, jeez, forgot about that too. Move, move, move! Why did it stop moving? Heck. Okay, that's one down. Go. Check out the bathroom stalls here. The little goodies in the toilets, which I'm sure you probably don't want to touch, but not too bad. You're gonna have to. That was not a very nice trick play that I did with the, I got rockets in here on a destroyed bathroom, which was kind of fun. I tried to get you used to just opening the stall and shooting, and then I faked out with one of the explosive barrels in the toilet. I think I'm hilarious. So, there are clearly not enough medkits down there, but there's more up here. And I try to give the player an obscene amount of rockets here now, as I just flood you with fodder enemies that are fun to shoot rockets at, because they explode very satisfyingly. I don't know what the word I was going for was, but it wasn't that. He gets stuck up there, I don't know how. Oh, because you can just walk up here. That's supposed to be impassable. And I give you more fodder enemies. And an arc pile, which again, if you've got rockets, is really not a problem. The idea was to put more fodder enemies in here, so he can target you, and you gotta blow your way through the fodder enemies. Do you see the... It's supposed to be TV screens. They're scrolling by. Anyway. I'll shout this out here. I had a dream about a hotel room. Jeez, I forgot that I put a monster in here. A couple of years ago now. So, overlooking the patio, overlooking the park here that you're supposed to get to, which is very unfinished, which is why I'm not stressing about having just died. I built that hotel room. Basically, it was a lot more steel and glass in my dream. I have a little spotlight on that. I thought that was cool. I really liked that touch there. Little portrait. And the flickering, busted TV and some seats here, which are not textured. The big focal point of the room was this giant kind of discussion pit in front of the fireplace with carpet, and so I tried to recreate that a little bit. Of course, you got the kitchen with the sink. I think there's a zombie in here or something. The bedroom, obviously. Yeah, some zombies. Little bed. You can see some of the geometry of the bed, but it's, you know, this level is extremely unfinished. One thing I am super proud of is this little hopscotch game, which if you do it correctly, and I did it wrong, but if you do it correctly, the tower lowers and you can get the goodies inside. And I honestly don't remember how to do it, but that's fine. Anyway, there's the little doom from the thumbnail. So let's work on fixing this column here. So they both have tag 37, excuse me. But they're not lowering consistently. And I have multiple triggers set up for that. There's a couple different ways we can do that. One of them is going to be making it a diagonal like that. So if you're going to pick up the key, you're going to hit it, right? Try that. Same thing with this. So each one of these is triggered to open this little tiny door. Where'd it go? Here's the parking garage encounter. There's a tiny little door here. It's 2 pixels tall. So it takes about a second to open. A half second to open. And so when you cross that trigger, it opens it up. So if you're making noise, now they'll hear you. Now, if you do like I did and you just kill the cacodemons ahead of time, you know, big whoop, whatever, doesn't matter. But they will spawn in, and I am going to set up a line in here to also get those monsters to come back. If you kill them, English, if you don't kill them, they can get out and come chase you. Alright, so for the car, I forgot to do this, so let's do that real quick. There we go. Just some really light, like baby's first detail work. Just the mapping. And this car model is fundamentally different than the ones that are in the yard, but I'm really hoping that nobody cares. Because I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much, and I'm incredibly OCD, so if it doesn't bother me, I really hope it doesn't bother you. Which side? This is supposed to be the front of the car here. So let's bring that down so it disappears. And there we are. There we go. Is that about even? It's about even. This is what it's supposed to be textured with this concrete. I like the idea of the big, you sort of pour them in place and then you stand up the walls for the concrete. I like those kinds of buildings, and that's what this texture's always sort of reminded me of. So I like to use it when I can. You can see some of that subtle color grading. Actually didn't do it here, never mind. I took it away. That's right, because you couldn't see it. You can see here how I've faked the 3D with the columns and things. By bringing the ceiling down and then not texturing it, the game renders right through it. Same thing with these streetlights. So if I, for example, let's grab these and delete the ceiling off of them, and we'll see what that looks like. There are a couple ways that you can fool the Doom engine into rendering things. Now, not every classic Doom doesn't work for that, really, usually. Okay, those are not a good example because they're not touching anything. They're still transparent. I don't know how to fly. There's a way to fly, but I don't remember what it is. Let's try again on those ones that are up against the wall here. You can see. Because if you put the sky texture on a ceiling, for instance, any lines, any faces above that are going to render as sky. So let's boot this up again. Ah, there we go. And now it looks like it's 3D. We know it's not. And the illusion will get broken if you can get far enough away from it. It'll start to bug a little bit. But I mean, looks good to me. And we can really do that for any of these that are going to be able to be seen from far enough away that it'll break the illusion. But I tried really hard to get the sight lines set up so that doesn't happen. So, like, these are the most noticeable examples, right? But again, you can't really get quite far enough for them to overlap in such a way that it causes a big skybox issue. Something like this box, though, absolutely does. So I'm doing the same thing with the box as I did with the lights, and you can see it sort of get out of my face. Get out of here. You can see that light disappearing, and that's just, again, that's part of the nature of the renderer. You're sort of making the renderer panic, which is why you can have things be invisible. And that's how you are able to go inside of a crate with a roof, but still see over it. And sometimes it doesn't work. But again, my earnest hope is that you won't be able to tell. People aren't going to be looking that closely at it. Or if they do notice it, that they don't mind. It's a lot of hope and guesswork on my part, huh? Also, I appreciate the lift. Thank you. This teleport is supposed to take you out of here. It clearly is not doing that, so let's also investigate that. We've almost hit the hour. I was only going to stream for about an hour. My voice is going and I am exhausted. Let's fix a couple small texture things. So we don't want to see the UAC logo in here. Let's remove that. Let's try to find there we go, a vertex that will allow us to do that. So we can slide that to the side. Just keep going until we get some clear space. Let's actually find another intersection right there. That's better. So now we can just slide it on over. And you have the wide crate there. Crate wide. Keep going. And this one here almost works. You can see I've got a little trigger there to release the arc file. And that creates one texture breakpoint. But we do need another one. We can actually just go boop boop and align. Doing this kind of alignment is really tricky because when you grab a vertex, like that one, it's going to default to one of these corners. It has to. You can do lines on angles, but intersections of shapes always have to have some kind of intersection on the grid system. So if we come over here and we see which way do we need to go with this, we need to come further in. So we're going to do like that. Nope, still not far enough. We have to go further. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. You too. Forget about it. Alright, now for the teleporter that was not working. Also, this is supposed to lower and allow these guys out, and it's not doing that. Okay, 6, there we go. Let's configure this teleporter here. Do WR just in case. Teleport. Give it a new tag. Where should it put you? Yeah, I don't want to be too hand-holdy. It's just going to drop you right outside the door here. Give it a 64 by 64 block. Give you a teleport destination. Make sure you're facing the right way. And what? That's 42. Maybe I should just come over here and hit unused. Now, what about the arc file? Will he panic and teleport out? Maybe. Maybe. How do we rectify that? We can shrink this door down, put him in here, and put a line here that says block monsters. So now, no matter how agitated he gets, I also made sure to give him a little thing to look at so he's not lonely in there. No matter how agitated he gets, he cannot cross that line. He cannot take that teleport. Also means that if you get to here, the demons can't get to you, but if you've gotten to this point, you'll cross the teleport threshold and you'll be sucked out of there. So, we are over time, but I want to fix this little thing real quick, so let's take a look at that. Again, I am not an expert by any means, but these are the tools that I have learned how to use. So we're going to make 2 dummy sectors here, just by selecting them and pressing J. I don't mean for this to be a tutorial, I'm just sort of talking through my process. If you want tutorials, I would actually advise you look at Decino. His videos are fantastic, as well as, I'm going to misremember, but I believe it's Chubbs Doomer. He's got a lot of fantastic ACS scripting is the thing I couldn't remember, and he's got a lot of good tutorials on how to do all kinds of cool effects, bringing in things from Hexen, from Boom, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so both of these are now duplicated over here. We can trick Doom into thinking these are the same spaces, and we want our floor to be, let's see, let's have it be this here. So floor 0, and we're just going to set both the floor and the ceiling height to 0. And let's test that again. No monsters. And see if that fixes it. It might not. Sometimes setting the floor, so like that. That was an instantly popped up. That's by, again, tricking the Doom engine, telling it to lower the floor to the highest adjacent floor, or to the next highest floor. So by having it set below the next floor with the dummy sector again, and then telling it to lower, the computer goes, but the program, I should say, goes, oh crap, I gotta get there fast, and it just instantly does it. So you can create or remove walls that way. It's phenomenal. That one I sort of had to figure out on my own, and in the time since, there have been a lot of good videos out on it. I know Decino has talked about it a bit. You can also get on top of the cars if you want. Like I said, I highly recommend his videos. They're really funny, really entertaining, incredibly informative. So if you come over here, you can see the invulnerability. Can't really see it unless you do that, but... And it worked, and I was not even paying attention. Okay, we gotta start over. Alright. Oh no, the thing. Alright, let's hit that key and... So it's a single line, which means that everything gets activated at once, and by having them both set to have the same... what's the word? Objective? Angle? Perspective? I don't know. But none of those are the right words. They have the same goal. They're trying to get to the same place. The same destination. Destination, that's the word. By setting them to have the same destination, they both descend at the same rate, and then once one hits and stops, the other one just sinks nicely into it. I'll show you this effect again without the invulnerability. So I was trying to have the explosions and the destruction happen more synced up. Oop, I'm missing a texture there. I gotta fix that. That's been proving to be almost impossible, because every time that I do it, I purposely will run at a different speed to look at and see how fast does it happen? How fast can I get it to go? How slow can I move and still have it happen? And it's never quite lined up. I'm achieving that by using these barrels with a crusher. And the crusher is set right on top of the barrel's bounding box. So as soon as you hit, which line is it? That line, it begins to crush the barrels, which takes a split second. The barrel then gets crushed, blows up, sets off all the other barrels. I could set the other line over here, but I can't guarantee that people are going to keep moving in a straight line. That's what I do. That's what I'd say 99% of people I've seen do. But if they stop here, or they kind of go, actually, you know what, I'm going to go over here. You get the explosion, but no, you get the sound, but you won't really get to see it. And that's not as much fun. So by having the lines close together like this, it gives a little bit more time for the barrels to get primed and blow up before the actual deformation of the level happens. But not being so close that they're really out of sync. Hopefully people will cross both at the same time. It's not map breaking. It's not the end of the world. I think it's neat. And there's these here. So this looks tackier in the editor, but it looks so much better in game because you can't see the building get cut off by the thing there. There's giant rooms where I've written Doom. There's some of the elevator stuff at work there. I actually don't. Oh, okay, yeah, that's for this thing here. Let's actually make this just a tad taller so it's harder to just jump onto. There we go. And I need to make this be soundproof, so let's do that really fast as well. So for whatever reason, the developers decided that you need to have 2 lines to make something soundproof. So anything that happens in that gray area, they can't hear. I don't know why it's set up that way, but I don't know. I'm sure that they had a reason. I do want to show you this explosion with Brutal Doom. I think it's pretty cool. So that'll be our promise, our very, very last test here. So let's, oops. Let's do that real quick. I gotta. All right. You. I know you can't see anything, I promise. You'll see things momentarily. Ah, you're hearing things. Let's put the pause on the tunes. And let me know if the game is too loud. Can't really see it. What is the background music? Background music is from Unreal Tournament. So it is the Mothership Loudspeakers remix. It's available on YouTube, the entire album. And you can also download it from there as well if you so desire. Thank you for the question. I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but it's good to reiterate. I don't make any money off of these. I never monetize, so I'm not making anything off of his music. Her music. I'm not sure. Their music. I highly recommend that you check out their YouTube channel, Mothership Loudspeakers with a Z. Download the album, listen to it. It's phenomenal. The music in Unreal is great already, and the remixes are just killer. Okay. So, I can bring you guys back visually. There we go. This is my first map. That's not what we're here for. We're here for map 07. Current game audio is at a good level. Okay, good. It's super hard to tell because the GZ Doom always records really loud. Like when I'm trying to do Ashes, for instance. Oh, it's a nightmare. All right. I'm gonna turn my volume down because it's about to get heckin' loud. I'm gonna give myself weapons to do this properly. Use just the super shotgun. Here we go. 1 second. I don't like having health bars. It's kind of silly. doesn't? Allow health, yes, yes. Crosshair shows health. No. Sorry, this is super distracting. Super off. There we go. No. Let it be a mystery. Why do I say no? I just disabled it. You all saw me do that. It's off. Crosshair shows how to move. Back to the standard shotgun. So this is an old version of the map? I don't think it is. Let's go grab that vulnerability, shall we? I don't know where the health bar is coming from. That always drives me nuts. Okay. Pretend like the barrier worked. Gotta wait for the vulnerability to go away. That ruins the cool effect. When everything's all great. Alright. So because of Brutal Doom's... I think it's... You can see that it does damage as it did. Now a roasting gun, which I think really helps to elevate. Oh, see, my stuff is there because. Ooh, that rendering's bad. Let's see. Just say standard. Software. Hardware accelerator. There we go. Doom software render looks the best. It does mess with the fake. This just looks too. Oh, there's the second one again. Running at the same time, and being able to see 3D mobs, these 3D demons. See, I got the little red on the switch there. They're already shooting at me. Press texture doors. Cement the wall there. It's supposed to be definitely. Setting up the things that obviously that's not say something. What was I gonna say? Someone remind me what I was gonna say. I don't know. We didn't need to go get that cable anyway. Let's see now. I don't have auto aim. What? I have done playthroughs of some of my levels with various mods that I like to play with on. So if you would like to see that, let me know. I've done, like I said, I've done one video of that. If you'd like to see more, I'd be happy to oblige. Should probably put some health or something. So that works. Good. We fixed that. Wow, that was so cool. I understand the issues that people have with Brutal Doom's changes to the art style, and I think they're valid. I definitely prefer Classic Doom specifically, but this is killer. This looks great. But I digress. See, some of the triggers and things are just completely busted. I don't know. Some of the triggers are busted. I don't know why. Interesting. I don't know why the triggers are so busted. What I did wrong. Same thing with the doors. This is supposed to be a key door that lets you go through, and it's just... So, I don't know. Hard to say. As far as the balance, though, I think they work okay. As far as we'll leave that there at that, and let's take a quick look and see. So this is these are all supposed to be little triggers that will open the doors. It looks like they're too small to be able to be interacted with. So the best way to fix that is just to select or create a larger line dev and tie your trigger to that. So we'll do that real fast here. Gonna come over here, door blue. One door open, stay blue. Okay. And what's the tag? The tag is 40. Nope, not 410. 40. There we go. And this line is working as expected. So it may be some changes that Brutal Doom does to how the mechanics work that may have broken this one. But like this is working, so I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I appreciate you guys hopping in and checking it out. If you'd like to see more Doom mapping streams in the future, let me know. If you did not enjoy this and never want to see this again, let me know. Otherwise, I will continue to do this to you. So, thank you for pitching in, chiming in, checking it out. Like I said, if you have any questions about mapping, please ask. Post them in the comments down below. If I have an answer, I will give it to you. If I don't have an answer, I will send you to where I found the answer. Because this is something I really enjoy. I'm passionate about it. And I have been able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've made 18 maps so far. There's a lot of kinks to be worked out, of course, as you can see. That doesn't need to be there. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I would love to have some people play it and let me know what they think. Yeah, that's all I got. Again, sorry about no scheduled video for this week again. That was the plan, and that just did not end up happening. Life hits you hard, and then everything falls apart at once. So it was difficult to be able to dedicate a good amount of time to it, and that's fine. That's just how this goes. I'm going to try and get out by next week, and the following week we'll also have another video as well. So we'll get you 2 videos in 2 weeks. That's pretty good for me. Thank you for coming to the stream again. I will stop thanking you and just end the video, and I will